So, how was your Pesach? I know. It was not a typical Passover, far from it. Quarantined in our homes, unable to be with family and friends for the Seder, for many people, it probably didn't even feel like Pesach. And yet there were the foods that we only eat at this time of year: matzah, maror, charoset. For most of us, it is the change in our diet that gives this holiday its special character, that serves as a constant reminder of who we are and of our people's unique story and of our connection to a faith that believes in a God that has the power to redeem and who asks us to be a partner in the redemption that is still to come. Interestingly, this week's Torah portion, Shemini, also deals with the topic of our diet. It is in this portion that our ancestors are provided with the do's and don'ts, or better yet, the eat this but not that are the fundamentals of keeping kosher. God tells Moses and Aaron to instruct the Israelites which land animals they are permitted to eat and which are forbidden. Only those that have split hooves and chew their cud are permitted. Which animals that live in the water are permitted and which are forbidden. Only those that have fins and scales are we allowed to eat. Which birds are forbidden, and that list includes falcons and hawks and owls and ostriches. And which insects are permitted and which are not. If you have a taste for locusts, you're in luck. You might assume that along with all of these do's and don'ts, the Torah would provide some rationale for these commandments. Well, it does. Sort of. The Torah says that among the animals that there are those that are pure and impure, and that being holy requires us to distinguish between the two. God says, "For I, the Lord your God, am holy. You shall sanctify yourselves and be holy." And then God adds, "For I, the Lord, am your God who brought you out of Egypt to be your God. You shall be holy, for I am holy." Well, that's interesting, because God redeemed us from slavery in Egypt. God doesn't only expect us to eat matzah and maror on Passover. God has additional rules that we are expected to follow all year long. It isn't only for 8 days that we are supposed to have a special diet. All year round, we are supposed to eat in a manner that reminds us of who we are, of our people's unique story, and of our connection to a faith that believes in a God who has the power to redeem and who asks us to be partners in the redemption yet to come. I know that not every person who is Jewish observes the laws of kashrut, aka keeps kosher. But I also know that those of us who do, even those who adhere to only one or two of these regulations, recognize that by regularly thinking about what we eat and limiting the foods that we permit ourselves, we're making an effort to adhere to a system that isn't arbitrary, it's faith-based, and in this sense it is holy. And if we want to be more than mundane, if our goal is to emulate God and to be holy, then what we eat on Pesach and throughout the year can be a significant step in that direction. Shabbat Shalom.